Yes, people. Welcome to the Monday Night Madness panel show. And today it's going to be madness today. I'll tell you that now. Already thinking about the things that I need to say. But all I want to do is I want to start off with, is
every fucking time
I've had
with
this
shit.
Let me put Johnny on mute for a sec, yeah? Hold on. Okay. Since 2002, yeah, and you're a guy that does his kit shows, yeah. I've been really liking your kit shows as well, yeah. Yeah. I've had this top since 2002, and as you can see, it looks in such pristine condition, yeah. This top is 24 years old. Can you believe it? 24 years old, yeah. Champions, Henri on the back as well. My missus bought that for me years ago. But we're not talking about kits today. We're talking firstly about how I felt. Firstly, hold on, Gianni's back. How I felt yesterday morning, waking up in the morning. So my routine, guys, yeah, is usually this. I wake up really early in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, every morning. Obviously, I do my prayers. I usually go to the gym, come back, have something to eat, and then I go back to sleep. Same routine most days. Yesterday was different though. And the one thing that made it different for me is went gym, had my food, I went to sleep. But something, you know when there's things on your mind, it's like what do they call it? What do they call it? Something on your head when it's unconscious, the unconsciousness in your head or something. Something in my brain, when I woke up in the morning, I said 4 words. ARTETA has to go. That's what I said. It sounded so loud in my thoughts, yeah, that I thought I said it aloud. And my missus was like, but she didn't. It was me that said it aloud. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this manager. I'm serious, John. This is a no joke today. I've had enough of this manager, bro. Yeah. I've had enough of this empty feeling, this loss of when we go into competitions and just giving it up. We gave up to Man City. Okay, Man City can beat you on any given day, but that still hurt. But to play Southampton the way we did, and we didn't even play that well, but we still got back into the game with someone that's been heavily criticised this season, Gyökeres. And then we still give the game away to a championship team. Johnny, you of all people, yeah, you must be hella embarrassed, yeah, by this Arsenal team, yeah, to go into this game with that mentality. And yes, we were happy when we saw the rotation. We saw players that, okay, we thought we could come in. But this is no longer a player issue for me. This is no longer a structural issue for me. This is a management issue for me. Yeah. And to make things worse, and I'm going to let you guys come in after in a bit. Yeah. To make things worse, his after speech had me, yeah, wanting to smash tables, smash glasses. I wanted to go mad. I love my player. Listen, I don't swear in my household, innit? But I'm close to doing that right now because I'm not doing this for clicks. I don't care if it's one person watching the stream. I don't care if it's 10 people watching the stream now. I don't do this for popularity. Yeah. I do this based on my opinions and my feelings. And I don't get everything right, guys. Yeah. I'm not going to get everything right. You know, big up to my boy Cape. I love streaming with you. You know what I'm saying? We've got our Wednesday show. We've got our watch alongs that we do consistently. But I had to pull him up on a few things. Not pull him up, but I had to say certain players in our team are not good enough. Jesus not good enough. Kai Havertz, not good enough. Odegaard, not good enough. Norgard's not good enough. I can reel out a list to you guys right now. And the only man that brought these players in, he's responsible. He's responsible for bringing these players in. He's gonna be the responsible, yeah, for wanting to give these guys a pay rise. Why? Why should he stay here? And why should we be here talking about players that we want in the summer when this manager's still gonna be at the helm? So the title of this video, yeah, is will Arteta get us over the line? Because at the moment I'm 50-50 right now. I'm not confident. And I also want to know from you guys, yeah, as well. Do we just give up the Champions League because we're not going to win it anyway and just put all our eggs in one basket, yeah, and just go and play and just go and beat Bournemouth on Saturday? So it's open floor for anyone who wants to talk now. I'm going to shut up for a minute.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know, I live close to Portsmouth and Southampton. I'm in the middle of both of them. So I'm on the outskirts. And within 20 minutes of that match, I'm getting text messages, big up. And I got to go into work and I got to show my face. And they know I'm big, black, got dreads, and I love Arsenal. They know who I am. I got to go and hold that all week. All week. Like, I've already gotten a text message. I got to go hang out with my friends who said, I hope he doesn't dip out because Arsenal have embarrassed themselves. I got to go hold that. It's tough, bro, and I'm tired of it. Like, I would not be this – I've gone through that, but I wouldn't be this up in arms if we had put in a good performance, maybe lost on penalties, maybe a last-minute winner. Those happen. But for two cup matches in a row, we've watched Arsenal limp like Saka through two matches, and we lost two of them. And like people were talking about, and I know, you know, some of it's tongue in cheek, quadruple people talking, but us in this chat, the three of us, and Tony Claude as well, we all agreed last month that we were going to win a double. We're going to win the league and maybe another trophy. There's no other trophy. That's not happening. And now I'm scared for the league. We can't beat Southampton. Can we beat Bournemouth? Can we beat City at the Etihad? Right? Does it get better? It's not like we're gonna get players in January. January is come and gone. This is it. Who we have is Jesus is trash. Kai Havertz is trash. Martinelli.
My God.
Martinelli. Listen, we could be here for 3 hours talking about how trash Martinelli has been. The thing is, like, the only thing I can focus on, like, the Champions League is gone for me. Like, I can't even focus. I just imagine in my brain, Yamin Lamar running rings around these dudes. You know, Julian Alvarez running rings around these dudes. You know, and that's not even in the final. You think if we get to the final, we beating Bayern, PSG, Real Madrid? Nah, bro, we're not beating them. You know what I'm saying? So the league is all I got to hold on to, and I'm holding on by a thread. So is everybody else. We're holding on by a thread. It's tough, man. It's embarrassing. You know, if we lost and we made an account of ourselves, it'd be different. But we have embarrassed ourselves, and it's not an overreaction. This is not an overreaction for me. This is 1 out of 24. The man has had 24 opportunities to win since the last FA Cup he won with the team that he didn't want them. Aubameyang, get out of here. You show up late. Guendouzi, you push somebody over who's haranguing your teammate. You show a little fight, get out of here. We don't want you. We got all these nice guys and hair flickers, right? And guess what? No trophies to show for it. I've never seen Martin Odegaard's armpits. Never seen him do this, right? You can count the Community Shield. I don't count it. I don't watch those games, so I still ain't never seen him do it, right?
Facts.
I've never seen him lift a trophy. And we're still talking about this. How is Mikel Arteta in the same conversation as some of these great managers, having won nothing? Pep Guardiola, he's in the conversation with Klopp and Pep, having won nothing. He hasn't won anything. I take Hansi Flick. I take Enrique. At this point, I'd even take Cesc Fabregas because at least he can get a team promoted. Where are we right now? Second place is the trophy, guys. Be excited. That's it. I'm gonna lose my hand. I can't, bro. It's insanity at this point. So to answer your question, we ain't winning the Champions League, and I'm hoping that we win the league, or else I gotta move. I gotta leave. I can't show up to my place of employment. 4 years in a row. I've been working this job for 3 of those years, and I've had to walk in after every May, after every June, and I gotta hold that from Portsmouth fans, from Southampton fans. I mean, I've watched Portsmouth in a trophy parade before I watched Arsenal. Big up.
Mm-hmm.
It's embarrassing, bro. So yeah, I'm just holding off for hope that we can scrape over the line, and that's it. But I'm not holding my breath. That's it. That's all I got. I'm gonna mute myself because I'm heated.
We said that the League Cup was damn near a mandatory trophy to win in order to set the precedent for the rest of this run. And we completely capitulated. We didn't show up. Then you had all these fucking dickheads. I'll do the swearing for you, Waffle Don. Don't worry. We had all these fucking dickheads pop up on all these different sports channels talking about Pep's 4-2-4 press was absolutely genius. Arsenal couldn't figure it out. Well, we can figure it out. The problem is that this nonsense that people say that you need a goalkeeper who's good with passing his feet showed that it was bullshit and showed that Kepa was a waste of fucking time in that game. This game, however, first of all, the young Brazilian kid as the left winger of Southampton is better than any left winger we have, and he's in the championship. The fact of the matter is that we've spent £1 billion, and a 16-year-old that's come through our academy is who we're hoping for to be the next Lamine Yamal, so to speak, to just get us over the line to actually win one trophy. The Champions League's done. I'm sorry. For all those who are still holding on, we could potentially win a double, and these are the bigger fish to fry. Brother, if we can't beat Southampton and they pass through us, what the hell do you think Sporting Lisbon's going to do to us? And if we get lucky and we beat Sporting Lisbon, if we show up anywhere close to what we did against City or Southampton against Barcelona, Pedri is going to run wild. When you hear about Hulkamania is going to run wild on you, brother, Pedri's going to run wild on you, brother. That's the state that we're in right now. Right now, the league is the only thing that looks realistic that's going to happen. And even then, we're at a point right now to where we have to worry about a resurgence Bournemouth. We have to worry about the fact that we're still playing teams that are going to be fighting for Europe and fighting relegation in this final run-in to go and try to win this trophy. Our next 4 league games are against teams that are all playing for Europe. Fulham, we have had difficulties with in the past, is playing for Europe. Newcastle, who has given us all types of smoke over the last few years, is playing for Europe. Manchester City is who we are in direct competition for the league. We have to go on the road and play them after 2 straight games of not changing the way that they played against Real Madrid's B team and smoked us and smoked Liverpool. And let's be honest, that 2-0 scoreline flattered us in the League Cup because City that second half should have put about 4 or 5 in. What's happening with this club is nothing short of another debacle to where I've said on multiple streams that I've had it. I've said on here, 2 trophies was mandatory at this point. If he walks away with the league, I'm still not convinced that we should keep him, even if he gets us over the league at this point. The issue that we're running into for all those in the back who said this is the best squad ever and everything else, your injury excuse is null and void. That was last year. There is no bringing back the old excuse from last year when this manager lined it up for a T, especially after we blew that 2-0 lead against Villa at home last year. We blew that 2-0 lead against Villa. We were hoping that the redirect off of Havertz would be a goal. It wasn't. It was ruled a handball. And immediately the next thing that he said in the press conference was, show me another team that would be fighting like we are with all the injuries, and especially because we knew we were coming into this season thin. Well, Arteta, you didn't come into the season thin. You had a little over £250 million spent in this transfer window to make sure that the rest of this team was rounded off and that you had a full squad. There is no excuses for the injuries. All the people who are trying to come up with, oh, it's strategic, they're not really hurt, and blah, blah, blah. The only person who showed that they're not really hurt is Odegaard. The only thing that's hurting for Odegaard is his confidence in the fact that he's dog shit and that he's a disgrace to be wearing the captain's armband for this fucking club. That performance that he put in against Southampton was shambolic, and to the point where that could have been his worst performance in an Arsenal shirt. That's how bad that was. And we've seen some horrible games from Odegaard, especially in the last 2 years. We talked about the rotation. Why is Salmons not getting a start when you know Skelly is supposed to be in the midfield? We all know, the four of us all know this, that Skelly is not a fullback. We all know this. It's evident. Skelly is trash when it comes to defense on that fullback position. I'm sorry, the dude is a midfielder. The only thing that I can see that's getting ready to be geared up is Skelly's going to get sold in this transfer window this season. Best believe it, because the performance that he put on out of position is not Skelly's fault. It's the manager's fault, and the manager will use him as another dud to say that, oh, it's not going to help us out, guys. We have to make moves, and sadly, he's going to be gone. And just remember, Ethan Nwaneri will also be sold. Everybody laughed at me when I said it, that that'd be the reason why he gets put on loan. But I said I would not be surprised if Nwaneri and Skelly get put on loan or sold because of the fact that we need maximum amount of money to go forward for some more of these transfers. Ethan Nwaneri walks into our team at whatever position you want him to play. You want him to play right wing, you want him to play left wing, you want him to play number 10, you want him to play number 8. Ethan walks into any of those positions. Miles Lewis-Skelly walks into the 8 or 10. Hell, I'd even be willing to give Miles Lewis-Skelly a run at the left wing. The left wing is so fucking trash. Martinelli, that motherfucker ain't Brazilian. Even with how shit Italy is, he ain't even Italian. That motherfucker is from Cyprus. I'm not hearing none of this shit. That man is trash. And the fact that they think that you already have these rumors that PSG is going to pay 50 million pounds for him, good luck. You'll be lucky if you get 15 for his bum ass with the way he's been playing. The fact that the youth has been ignored up until this point, and now we need a 16-year-old and another youngster to bail us out because he has ran this team into the ground is an absolute fucking disgrace. 4 years. This is now starting to get close to 4 years in a row. When it's crunch time, when the time matters, this is what separates the men from the boys when it comes to who's going to actually lift trophies and stuff like that. Once again, Arsenal is teetering on possibly crumbling. 2 weeks ago, everybody swore up and down, the quad is on, the quad is on. Then all of a sudden, the excuse came out and said, oh, nobody cares about the League Cup. It's the least trophy that we want and everything else. Motherfucker, we do not have that availability right now to say that any trophy is worth throwing away when we haven't lifted a trophy in 6 fucking years. We haven't won the League Cup in 30 years. We haven't won the Premier League in 22 years. We haven't won the FA Cup since he took over in the COVID year. And the Champions League we have still never won. We do not have the luxury to say we can throw any trophies away. We don't have that luxury. The trophy, winning the trophy, especially the League Cup, would have set a precedent now that all 4 of us would have said we could appreciate that we've gotten over the line in one of these competitions and that this should lead to us now going on to fulfilling what we need to. AFC, it's 100% right, from treble to trouble. Brother, I have said since October that this is not the same City team, and we have all said at the same time, it's not the same City team. De Bruyne and Gundogan have not been replaced by this team. You have a kid in Cherki who is lighting shit up, and you have a manager who is letting kids play starting minutes consistently at Man City. And for those who don't want to hear it, this would be the worst bottle job in history if we lose the title. We are talking about a Man City team that has multiple kids getting minutes, that have not played consistently, still being in a possibility to win a domestic treble. The whole thing is an absolute fucking joke. The whole thing is an absolute fucking joke. It's a fucking disgrace. And I'm here to tell you this right now. If he does not win the league and he folds out on the league, we're not winning the Champions League because, as you rightfully put, Waffle Don, we may not even get past Sporting Lisbon with the way that we looked. Saka and Rice were withheld from training today. I wonder why. Saka and Rice didn't train. All the other people who were supposedly injured trained, but Saka and Rice didn't train. I wonder why. If we get put out in the Champions League quarterfinal and he wins the league, I think he should still walk. If he gets to the semifinal and he wins the league, he should still walk. I said 2 trophies minimum. The only way he stays at this point for me is if he wins the league in the Champions League. And I already know the Champions League ain't happening. So he should walk. I'm sorry. We can't keep doing this. 4 years in a row, possibly. 4 years in a row, possibly. Especially this now being the culmination of $1 billion spent. And we're still talking about what if, buts, and maybes is a fucking disgrace. And I'm going to stop ranting there.
Dr. Seaman, welcome to the
Big up, Doc.
Big up, Doc, man. You've heard what we've had to say already, man. What have you got to say about this current situation that we're in? Out of 2 cups, I just feel so demotivated at the moment. What you got to say, man? What you got to say?
Well, big up to you, my good friend, and big up to everyone here on the panel and in the chat. I don't have a lot of new things to say, and unfortunately, a lot of what I am going to say is going to sound very redundant to both my gentlemen here to the right, Gunnar Rieken and Gianni. But maybe it needs to be said once more, just in case people aren't, listening clearly enough. I remember last summer how we were talking about how we have the best squad, we have the best squad depth, we have the best manager, best window, best everything. All of these superlatives, all of these things, and people keep talking about how this manager has done a good job. I'm here to tell you, you could, any of you 3 right now, you could go outside, you could throw a rock in any direction and you hit someone. They can do the same job that Mikel Arteta has done in the last 6 years. It does not take a genius to spend £1 billion to build a squad that is still thin on quality and depth. Like that right there alone, just for the fact alone that that as soon as 1 or 2 players goes out, big up AJ, as soon as 1 or 2 players goes out, suddenly, it's all calamitous. The fact that we don't have a squad true and through that, with depth and quality that can be replaced. So let's say, for example, Saka goes out injured, right? Nani Madueke is not a like-for-like replacement. He's not even a C-Tech replacement of Saka. The levels drop down so significantly. And that has always been my problem with this manager and his absolute dog water, sewage talent ID. Like, how is it that we have spent so much money, right? Again, like £1 billion. Sometimes I really wonder if people don't understand how much £1 billion is. It's $1,000 million or £1 million. It's 1,000 of a million in currency. We spent unprecedented money, but people will say, oh, well, other clubs have spent money. Other clubs, have spent even more money. Yes, those other clubs have also won silverware. Those other clubs have, they have gotten rid of their manager or even several managers at this point. We are the only club, not just in football, but across all sports, across human history. No other manager has been backed this much, 1-0 since spending all of that money, and still has a job. And the fact that there are still people out in this world that want to, recycle this narrative, saying, well, look how far he's taken us. He's had £1 billion in 6 years. Mm-hmm. Anyone could have done this. The fact that we have been competing on all four fronts, that is a basic minimum just by virtue of how much money we spent and how much time we have invested. The fact that we still haven't gotten over the line, there are only a few common denominators that are the reason for this. The first one is the manager, clearly and so fucking obviously at this stage. Pardon my French. I know we try to keep PG-13 around here. The first one is obviously the manager, right? He is the bus driver, and he has been driving this bus in a circle, in a roundabout for the last 6 years. The second people who are to blame are the Cronkies. Because again, you want to talk about such business acumen. It is subterraneous business acumen to invest £1 billion and 6 years into a novice manager who has never managed in his career ever. You have given someone, forget even a primary school graduate, forget even a high school graduate. You literally just gave someone who graduated with his GED, and probably not even that, simply because, again, Arteta never even had formal experience as a manager. It's almost the equivalent of finding someone off the street, grabbing them by the collar, and say, "Hey, how would you like a job at Arsenal?" We have there was no reason to invest so much money and time and patience and grant him such unquestioned authority at this club, basically giving him the keys to the kingdom. So the Cronkies, you can hold that. You can really hold that. And in fact, you really also need to fuck off as well from this club. You really need to. So first it's Arteta, then it's the Cronkies, but last but not least, one of the greatest voices that have been underwriting this mediocrity at this club are the Arteta sexuals. All of you Arteta top lawyers and bum chums, all you Bati boys that are kneeling on his feet, slurping him off left and right. Oh yes, Mikel, oh, you're such an incredible manager. Oh, all of these things. But yet reality is never in tandem with those crack pipe narratives. It would be one thing if these narratives actually had some logical cogence to them. They don't. They are so easily disprovable. Oh, well, he's got us, he's taken us from the depth. He's had all of the equipment to do so. That is the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum of getting to where we are. The issue that still remains because again, we sacked Wenger for a whole lot less. We sacked Wenger because he was not getting us over the line for the majors. He wasn't getting us over the line for the league. He wasn't getting us over the line for the Champions League. We sacked him after all of his tenure. We then gave the job to Emery, a manager who actually did have a CV, and we didn't even invest in him. In fact, we allowed the sporting director to bring in his signings. Nicolas Pepe was a signing that Emery didn't want because he wanted Wilfried Zaha. But instead, and so we got rid of him. And honestly, I'm 50-50 on Emery. I really don't care that he's gone, but I am more livid for the fact that we did not invest the amount of time and money in a manager like an Emery who was proven, and instead do it to someone who wasn't proven. That is half-assed backwards.
Mm-hmm.
But these Arteta sexuals, they are the reason, they are one of the sole foundational reasons why this manager still has a job, why this manager is also earning $15.6 million a season. I mean, the fact, and I really have to I'm going to put a pin on this. The fact that we're even still having this conversation in year 6 with no silverware to account for, That doesn't happen anywhere else. It doesn't happen in sports. It doesn't happen in your personal job. It doesn't happen anywhere. And I'm going to leave it on this. I cannot wait for Arteta to get sacked. I cannot wait, because there are people, Abs, Gunarican, Gianni, there are people who supposedly love Arsenal, who support this club, but yet they love the manager more than the club that they support.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there, they have lost the plot. This manager needs to go, these owners need to go, and these Arteta's actual bum chums need to go. They need to go back into the workforce. I need to see you working back at TK Maxx. I need to see you back working at Mark and Spencer's. I need to see you working anywhere else except on YouTube. Your YouTube personality and your channel is done once this manager is gone, because you will have not only this lifetime of shame to hold, you will have multiple lifetimes of shame to hold for putting up with this and for making everyone who supports this club put up with your nonsense and with your fantastical whims that Arteta is, the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's going to get us over the line, and people are already talking about giving him another extension. You can go extend yourself into outer space. All right, just leave this club alone.
And it's really good that you've mentioned that last part about leaving this club alone, because we're shouting from the rooftops right now, and I made sure I said it, that even if this guy does win a Prem, and Gianni said it, yeah, this guy has to go. But the problem is that any man that's on $15.6 million pounds a year, they're not going to go easy. It will take something like, what would it take? A humiliation. And I don't even think he's that type of guy to even like leave based on a humiliation. Yeah, he will still stay there. He will still say he loves his players. He will still give Kai Havertz a bumper new contract. He still keep Odegaard at the club. He'll sell Wanyeri. He'll sell MLS. Yeah, he'll run Saka. He'll run players down into the ground, and we will be none the wiser next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the talks need to start now. And you know what's going to happen, yeah? And this is what I see in the future. This is what I see. If, say, for example, we get over the line, yeah? If we get over the line, that giddiness of the fans is going to come back in, and it's going to be like, oh, okay, Arteta's got us off the line. Do you know what? He's the best manager since sliced bread. There's no other manager that's done it in 22 years, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? His ego is going to go to the roof, yeah? It's going to go beyond the roof. And then he's just going to do whatever he wants. Next season, he's probably going to... People have it in their heads that he's going to turn around and play some expansive football next season. People are relying on that, but I don't think so. I think this manager is so stubborn, yeah, that he's still going to keep it the same way next season.
He's going to double down.
It's turgid football next season. It's still going to be... Max Dowman is the only ray of light when I watch games these days. There's no excitement. It's all defensive. It's all build from the back, slow. It's all... When I saw the game the other day, yeah, all I saw was Jesus playing left back, right back, DM, centre back. He was playing every position apart from up front. Now, you're on 200 and... Hold on.
He's our savior. He's our savior. Remember that.
Let me show you something, guys. Yeah, let me show you what played, yeah, against Southampton the other day, yeah. Let me just show you monies, yeah, because you don't want to do the money thing, yeah. I'm going to show you, yeah. Hold on,
brother. We talked about this. You take seven.
Yes,
you talk about seven. You talk about seven of our biggest wasteful contracts is $54.5 million a year in salary. $54.5 million. Are you fucking crazy for that shit?
It's embarrassing, bro. It's
you want to know a crazy stat? Arsenal have the highest average salary per player in the league. We have the highest average salary per player in the league out of any of the other teams.
Even more than City.
City's weekly rate is less than ours. You know why? City, now here's the funny thing. City for yearly salary has 50 million more pounds spent across the board because of the fact their top 18 players are all big time earners at City. The rest of the team is all youngsters that aren't getting paid that much because Pep has them grinding to try to go at one of the big players in order to earn them a spot. Hence the reason why you see so many youngsters being played at City. And hence the reason why so many youngsters have been sold for big money leaving City when you've seen them played. Look at Cole Palmer, youngster, got sold for 40 million to Chelsea. Nobody's sitting here saying that if Cole Palmer would have stayed at City, that he wouldn't be balling out over there, that he wouldn't be doing what he's doing right now at Chelsea, which is sucking ass for almost 18 months. We're the only team that does everything ass backwards. We're the only team that does everything ass backwards with this nonsense.
Can I say something? I think, excuse me, that an element that we're not thinking about as well is the changing room. What are the players thinking? Right? We as fans, we have a piece of the puzzle to getting this dude out. But look at the body language of some of our players. I don't know if you guys watch some of our players when they come off. They don't look happy. You know, you got Declan Rice saying this again. You know what I'm saying? These guys are coming off and they're not happy. We have guys who've been here for 4 or 5 years who haven't won anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like they haven't done anything. And you know, all it takes is for the players to come together and say, we're done. I'm done doing this. And throw the toys out the pram, and then he's out of there. Right? And it's almost it seems like it's getting to the point where the league won't matter. If I'm getting run ragged, yeah, I won the league, but now I don't have any hamstrings to play for my country. That's gonna piss me off. If I'm injured and we scraped over for the league and I can't play for England, I can't play for, you know, Brazil, I can't play for Argentina, whatever it may be, I can't play for these teams, then that's great. Yeah, we won the title. But now I have to wait another 4 years to play for my country. Like, these are things that players think about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you're getting dumped out of every cup. And at some point, the players are just going to be like, bro, I don't care what happens this season. I just want to be fit for the World Cup. Because, you know,
Facts.
But we're being honest. They're getting paid. These guys don't love Arsenal like we do. Let's be honest. They love it because it pays them. I love my job because it pays me. But guarantee if another job offered me the same amount of money, I don't love it that much. They offer me a little bit much. I don't love it that much. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And I'm out. Like that's how these players, it's a job for them, right? When it comes to their country, they will always be whatever country they are. I will always be Puerto Rican. It's in my blood. Gianni will always be Italian. If Italy offered Gianni to come play flag football right now, I guarantee you Gianni's going.
Yep.
Right? If Nigeria called, if Cuba called, if Puerto Rico called, if any country calls, you going. Doesn't matter what walk of life. If you go represent your country, you will go do it if you have the opportunity to. Right? So you're asking players who are working super, super hard to win nothing, to focus on a title that I might not win, a Champions League Cup we know we're not going to win. I look at Barcelona, look at my team. Nah, these guys are scrubs.
I need to ask you, Gunnar Rican, then. So when is the stage, that the players will not realize that they can't win this league? Because we're at this stage right now, we're 9 points. We're 9 points.
The Etihad is everything. The Etihad is everything. If we lose at the Etihad, I guarantee you the players will go, yep, that's it. We're going to the World Cup. That's it. These guys
it's also the manner of the loss, too. If we get embarrassed again like it is in the League Cup, if we get embarrassed again and that scoreline is even worse, you're going to have dropping heads. Not only that, to take the point that Gunnar Rican had even said, Saliba's been here for 7 years. You think Saliba's not sick and tired of fucking not winning? Let's all remember something, too, while we're on the topic of Saliba. If it wasn't for Saliba balling out and being the best center back at 18 at Marseille, this motherfucker would have sold him. Let's all be real about that. So
You know,
what's to say? What's to say if PSG comes a call in and says, "Check it out, Saliba, you got guaranteed League on almost every single year. You got almost guaranteed trophies every single year because we're that much ahead of the rest of the competition. And if we keep this squad together and add you for the foreseeable future, we should be making at least a semifinal in the Champions League." Whereas with Arsenal, you have no idea what's going on. You don't even know if you're going to be able to play year in and year out because of these fucking injuries. Our center back pairing's been here together for 6 years. They're
Zero
supposedly they're the best center back pairing in the world, but haven't won shit.
Zero trophies. And these guys are going to international break with champions. Chouameni, you know, the guys from PSG, the Spanish guys. Zubameni's going with the guys from Real Madrid and Barcelona. Like, imagine going on international duty. Everybody's telling you your team's the best, but your mate in the cubicle over, he's won everything. He's showing off his medals. He's showing off his Champions League medal. What did you win, Zubameni? Oh, we won the Community Shield. That's it. Like, we haven't won anything at all. So 6 years of winning nothing, bro. Like, I'd be frustrated.
On top of it, remember the guy who they claimed was the shittest midfielder that we had, Danny Ceballos. Somehow Ceballos was good enough to stay at Real Madrid and Odegaard wasn't. Odegaard's this big wonder kid that everybody was talking about. Let's all remember something here. Odegaard got pushed out to left wing when old man David Silva was over the hump and showed him that the ball was round and not square at Real Sociedad. If we're going to be honest here and we're going to talk about everything, let's talk about it. Exactly. Gabriel is 28. Let's start looking at some of the age of some of these players who have been here for time and haven't won anything. And now there's talk that Eze was seen in training. So we're rushing another player back who was supposed to be out from anywhere for a month to 6 weeks. We're rushing Eze back because everybody who was talking about Odegaard needs to be a part of the team just got a real dose of reality that bum-ass motherfucker who's our captain getting paid crazy amounts of money ain't going to do a fucking thing for this team. You had people on Twitter talking about what a great shot Odegaard took at the goalkeeper against Southampton. Brother, you're paid to do that. Why are we hyping up mediocrity and shit you're supposed to do? The fact that we have people talking about Odegaard looked good in the first half, brother, he might have made 2 passes going forward. Everything was sideways, and I don't know who started the talk about it, but they're 100% right. The only thing that Odegaard is world class at is making himself look busy while doing fucking nothing. This motherfucker doesn't do shit.
Him and Jesus and Kai, they're free.
Jesus, Kai Havertz, and Odegaard were supposed to be our three saviors, right? Kai Havertz, just like Jesus, is a false 9, is everywhere but you need him in the box. Jesus was dumb enough to come out and say in multiple interviews, goal scoring is not my forte, but we paid however many millions of pounds to get you from Manchester City to put you as the false 9. Remember, everybody, Gabriel Magalhaes, our Brazilian defenseman, has scored more goals than our Brazilian forward in the time that they've been here. Let's all remember that. Since we're gonna pull the layers back on this bullshit. Right? Kai Havertz not scoring goals. Kai Havertz, if it wasn't for that assist, was arguably the worst player on the pitch.
But Johnny, we've been waiting. People been wanting Kai back. When Kai's fit, I've heard man saying when Kai's fit, he's taking that, from Gyökeres. He's taking that position from Gyökeres.
Yeah.
I want to see.
Who was the dickhead? Who was the dickhead trying to argue with DJB on the Arsenal roundabout, talking about Havertz is our most complete player? Really. I want to hear that part again. Why he's our most complete player. I want to hear why Odegaard, who has been shit for over 2 years now, is our supposed savior. You know what's so sad? To go along with the talent ID, Emil Smith-Rowe walks back into this team. Emil Smith-Rowe walks into the left wing position, or honestly the only person that Emil Smith-Rowe would have to worry about in the number 10 position is if Eze's actually being allowed to play properly, because if he isn't, and Eze gets forced to play the Odegaard role, Emil Smith-Rowe could walk into this team over Eze. Ethan Wanyeri. I mean, here's the sad thing. Max Dallman was our best player, and Max Dallman only looked good for maybe 15 to 20 minutes throughout the entire game. But that goes with the territory of the fact that we have spent $1 billion, to what the doc has said, that we've spent $1 billion and that we're hoping for magic from a 16-year-old in order to fricking get us out of this jam that we're in. The whole thing is absolutely fucking
We
nonsense.
played him 90 minutes, Johnny. We played
Yeah.
90 minutes yesterday.
Here's the question. Who else are you going to put him out at the right wing?
Right.
Noni's hurt, even though remember, remember who was it that put it in the group chat talking about, oh, this was a joke. Noni's not really hurt. He's there training. Really? He had the brace on his leg. Are we rushing him back too? We rushing him back too. How many guys are we going to rush back so that everybody can feel giddy about the team? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. For those who don't watch and those who didn't watch the remontada, Sporting Lisbon is going to play the exact same style of football that Manchester City did in that League Cup final. Their back line is going to be at the half mark, and they're going to be playing open attacking football with the ball on the ground. For everybody who needs to hear it another time, any team that is competent with the ball that can bum rush us through the middle is going to give us problems. Our midfield is shot. It's shot. You brought Zubamendi on, a defensive midfielder, the supposed best line-breaking passer in the world, on to do what? He didn't do shit against the championship side. Again, Declan Rice, he forces everybody into training. Oh, they're back in training. They're healthy. Well, Rice and Saka aren't. So who's going to be playing in this position against Sporting Lisbon?
Oh, man. I didn't even thought about that.
We running Norgard back at the 6 against Sporting Lisbon with Zubamendi and Odegaard? Or are we rushing Eze back to risk Eze? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. If Eze gets rushed back and he goes down in either the Bournemouth game or Sporting Lisbon, we may possibly lose this league. Because Odegaard's reproven he does not deserve to wear this fucking jersey ever again. This motherfucker is the first person that needs to get kicked out of this club along with the fucking manager at the end of the season. Trophy or no trophy. Because we're not winning a double. We're just not.
You know, like, and all y'all know that I've been saying it for time, that Odegaard is the worst 10 and the worst captain in by far the Emirates era, the Premier League era, possibly the entire club history. Like, I have never seen such a more pitiful and pathetic player to ever grace the pitch for us. I mean, like Silvestre, like, he was crap. You know, we've had a lot of crap players, but having a captain and someone who plays the 10, that is such a departure from what we know throughout Arsenal history. Arsenal have always had quality 10s.
Doc, you were in the chat last week when me and Waffle were doing the overrated 11 for Arsenal. It was damn near this midfield.
You're right. Oh, it's exactly the
How
case.
are we talking about an overrated 11 for Arsenal and Odegaard's already in it?
Well, I think it just goes back to how incompetent this manager has been. Because it is crazy, right? You really have to, like, really deep it. How someone has consistently poor talent ID. You know, like, I have never, you rarely see managers who keep their jobs demand players who are crap. Like, they are politely crap. They are nowhere near the quality for a top level club. 29 had already proven it at Chelsea that he was shit. And what did we do? Big up Mateo. What did we do? No. We spent top dollar, £65 million, and gave this donkey £285,000 a week. We needed a player at right wing. What did we do? Yeah, let's go back to Stamford Bridge and let's pay them 50 some odd million pound, for Whoopi Goldberg. Apologies to you, Whoopi, because you do not deserve that kind of association to Madueke. I'm telling you, the amount of money that we have spent The amount of money that we continue to spend, and mind you, like as you were saying, Gianni, like this club, like they're trying to increase the stadium capacity. We're not going to have any money for transfer deals unless we, unless we sell our youth. And ironically enough, our youth are our best players. I mean, like we are so far up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. It is crazy. And I swear, I never wanted Smith Rowe to go. I don't want Lewis Skelly to go. I don't want Ethan to go. I don't want Max to go. I want this manager to go. And I certainly want the likes of Odegaard, 29, Jesus, Calamari. I mean, pretty much every single one of Arteta's bum chums that have been able to develop a career and and financial security for themselves here at this club, they need to bounce. And I can guarantee you this as well. Everyone's talking about, Arteta's going to be swooped up by another large club. No, he's not. Okay, no other club, especially no other top club in the world. No other club is going to put up with this nonsense and with this bullshit for for at least for more than a season, let alone 6. Barcelona ran out Xavi after they won the league with him. Real Madrid, forget about that. Atletico Madrid, he would be run out by their ultras. Even even a team in Italy. Let's say because I do think that if there was a league that Arteta could possibly thrive in, it probably would be Italy. But you think that for example Juventus is going to give him the time of day? No. Do you think Inter or Milan? No. I mean, give me a break. Like all of their ultras would be running his family out of the country. This is only uniquely and exclusively happening at this club.
And not only that, to the chat that was in here talking about he's a dark arts manager. Sorry, no, he's not. Because we've taken what dark arts are and completely twisted it to fit the narrative to as the doc says, for people to be Arteta's bum chums. Because let me tell you something. If he's a dark arts manager, then what is Conte and what is Diego Simeone? They're dark arts managers that actually fucking win.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? Again, this is to everybody's point. And this is the question that you always have to ask, which we already know the answer, but there's too many way over the top positive fans that conflate this shit. Is he a good manager, or is he a manager that got to spend $1 billion?
Well, I mean, I think time has already proven it's the latter. Because just by virtue that if you were such a good manager, you would have won something on the way, and we would not be having this conversation, at least to the extent that we are, simply because he would have had some type of credit in the bank. But he has no credit in the bank simply because the only trophy that he has won was with someone else's squad, and then in classic narcissist form, he got rid of that entire squad. And for years we were told, Arteta needs to build a squad. Now he's built his squad, and we are seeing them capitulate year after year. Why I was saying from the onset that we were never going to win this league or win any silverware for that matter is simply because of who is driving the bus. It's Arteta. We're talking about as we look forward ahead, over the next several games that we have, I think we're going to go out to Sporting. The way that we're playing, and even more importantly, the availability of players that we have. We don't even have close to to a full health, strong starting 11. We barely even have a full health, mixed 11 at that. We are past running on fumes. We are hobbling with crutches over the line. Mm-hmm. And I'm here to tell you this. I can see us going out to Sporting. I'm definitely seeing us dropping points to Bournemouth. And I know we're getting smacked at the Etihad. I know that's happening at this stage.
This was going to be my question to you guys, yeah, but it's no longer rotation now, it's availability now. So
it's sole availability.
Yeah. So do we put everything into Saturday's game rather than the Porto game? Sorry, the Sporting Lisbon game. Sporting.
So I think we got to go in Sporting Lisbon. We're just gonna go with who we have. I just want you guys to also know that if you expect us to play expansive football away from home against Sporting Lisbon, it's not happening. We are going to stank out the joint in Lisbon. It's going to be one of the most boring, frustrated matches you've seen. I think even worse than the last two games. Big up. It's going to be boring. So let's just get that. It doesn't matter who we play. It's going to be boring. The issue that we have is even if they aren't injured, our players are exhausted. Zubamendi's played 1 million minutes, right? Thousands of minutes, right? And this is what I wanted to say earlier. I feel bad for Norgard. Norgard has, before the last match, the man hadn't played a full 90 minutes over the year. He's been put out there and then told, hey, you're the lone six. You got the donkey in front of you and you got Snartagard. Good luck, my friend. So then when he's scrambling, trying to protect the back four and he's running for his life, then guess what? That's diabolical.
That's awesome.
Classic Mateo on Doja status for sure.
Yeah.
That's classic. Good shit.
Crazy.
But you know what I'm saying? He's left Norgard out there to basically be the scapegoat. Oh, we were bad because Norgard. No, how you expect the guy who has less than 90 minutes over the season to come out? And yes, it's the championship, but he hasn't been playing. He hasn't gotten that regular rotation, and that's on the manager. The manager could have been letting Norgard play with some of these players in games that didn't matter. But we were trying to be top of the Champions League and top of the FA Cup and all of this stuff, right? The issue that we have now is with guys out, with guys leggy, you've got to play Norgard. Zubamendi can't run, bro. I don't know if you guys saw it. He has no leg. He looks like he's running in quicksand. We haven't seen Declan Rice, and part of me thinks that his legs are gone as well. Because Declan Rice runs and runs and runs and runs, right? So, yeah, man, it's to the point where now it's going to be patchwork. And the Arteta lovers are going to say, oh, but look, we had so many injuries, and it's England's fault that they were injured. It's Ireland's fault they were injured. It's Brazil's fault they were injured. No, it's Mikel Arteta for flogging them to the point where the national team managers are coming out and saying, these guys came to camp injured. They weren't fit when they came to camp. But I don't see any of the Arteta lovers on YouTube saying, oh my God, we sent players to international duty and they weren't fit. You don't hear that.
No, they're talking about how smart Arteta was to call them back.
Call them back. No, the national team doesn't want them because they can't run. You can tell within the first training set they can't run. So when it comes to prioritizing, bro, I think we're done. Just because the reserves are gone. I think it's just put somebody out there and hope for the best. I don't see us, people will say, oh, we haven't hit third gear. Bro, it's April. We are in April.
Are you not concerned? So I'm gonna wrap up in a few minutes here. Are you not concerned right now, that there's 7 games to go, possibly 8, 9 games with Champions League as well? Who knows? I'm ready to just pack in Sporting now. Yeah, I'm ready to pack Sporting in, and I'm ready to go full metal jacket on the league now, because that's what we need to be winning. Because if we don't win this league, bro, this is gonna be a catalytic, or whatever the word, catalyst.
No, catastrophic.
Catastrophic, sorry. Apocalyptic, post-look, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be the worst bottle job, and I'm gonna have to leave the country for a few months.
Bro, this will be the worst.
I just go back to America, bro. Where nobody knows anything. Like
this will be the worst bottle job in the history of the sport.
It will.
It will be the worst bottle job in the history of the sport. When
any
you take
sport.
everything.
Worse than United's one when they had 5 games to go. But City were
Brother.
Listen, you know why it's the worst?
City didn't get a billion.
Not a quadruple.
Yes,
that's why.
you're right.
Arsenal fans have built this up to be the worst bottle job. Because in January, were you guys at the top of the table parade? I missed it. I wasn't there. I wasn't able to make it. But all of the Arsenal fans
we beat Real Madrid, we beat Real Madrid in whatever leg it was in the fucking Champions League last year trophy run too.
Yeah. So Arsenal fans have built us up. And now that we're crumbling, they're running out of excuses. But fans like us were saying, in December. This isn't sustainable. Own goals and set pieces are not sustainable. We're not playing well. Now we haven't got anybody in January. We're still not playing well. Oh, it's okay. We're top of the Champions League. We're top of the table. We're 7 points clear. This league could have been done if we had a competent manager. My last question, and I hate to ramble. Do you guys think in the last 3 years, I'll just take the last 3 years, do you think Unai Emery would have won the league? And do you think Arsene Wenger would have won the league? If the answer is yes to any of those, Mikel Arteta is not good enough and he needs to go. That's it.
Oh, Arsene would have. Arsene would have.
With this
23, we'd have won the league by a fucking landslide with his style of play, with the way we were playing that season. Emery, honestly, I don't know. I would like to give Emery the benefit of the doubt, but I honestly don't know. I think he would be better than Arteta. Well, if Arteta was able to take it to if Arteta was able to take it till the last game of the season, then yeah, I will say Emery would have won too. But again, at the end of the day, and I know I don't want to just keep rambling because I know we got to wrap soon, but at the end of the day, everything in full context, the man has spent $1 billion. I've said this how many times with you guys? How many teams in the history of this sport have spent $1 billion and are talking about what if, buts, and maybes? None of them. Again, I use this man as a reference. Roberto Mancini won 7 trophies in 4 years with Inter, and they still sacked his ass, said it wasn't good enough. That's 7 trophies in 4 years. Those are what big clubs do when you don't hit where you want to go. That's what big clubs do. If we are a real big club,
but who's is it? What's his name? Begins with M. The owner. What's his name?
Moratti.
Yeah,
the owner. Then
he's a football man, though. Take out ownership and billions and whatever. He's still a football man. These conkeys ain't football people,
brother. But that's the thing now. We will know everything we need to know about this club moving forward through this summer. If he wins the title this year, he's going to stay. We all need to be prepared for that. If he wins the league, he will be staying. The question is how much power will Berta have? If he wins the trophy, if he wins the league and Berta walks his ass to City, because they offered him their sporting, they made an offer to him to possibly be the new sporting director at Manchester City. If he wins the league and Andrea Berta walks to Manchester City, all that showing is that Arteta's been given full control and the Cronkies do not care. If this man loses the league and gets sacked and the Cronkies are giving Berta full control, then we can't have the Cronkies as the excuse anymore, because you have one of the best sporting directors given the control to run the team. These next few games and what happens in the summer is going to tell us everything we need to know about this club. End of story. If Berta walks away to City and Arteta's getting full control to do a same situation like Wenger is, brother, we're going to be falling into the abyss, because I'm going to tell you this right now. This team is not built to run it back next season if they win the league title and go back-to-back, especially not, as Gunnar Rieken has pointed out, everybody trying to save themselves to represent their country for the World Cup this year that will be involved. We not only have to do that, but we're still talking about trying to find money to buy players. Let's all remember something. 2 weeks ago, we were on this show talking about if one of the youngsters is possibly going to be sold, to come up with the 50 fucking million to buy Hincapié out. Because Hincapié is a loan move with an option to buy, not obligation to buy. We're still looking for 50 million pounds just to buy him. And then you got guys out here making up stories that we're linked to be spending 100 million, possibly 200 plus million on trying to bring Julian Alvarez and Varashelia to Arsenal. Guess what? It ain't fucking happening. Neither one of them guys is coming to Arsenal. We're going to wait and see what happens with the squad and go from there. But what we've seen recently, we've seen the injury bugs hurt teams. We saw it happen with Liverpool this year after them winning it last year. We saw it hit City after they won it. The Premier League is wide open. These guys cannot go through another full year of having a big squad and no rotation. It will end in an absolute disaster, to point to where top 4 would be looked at as a good job because of how bad I think this injury crisis could potentially happen next year.
Let's do some predictions, before we get out of here. Let's do both games, okay? So, Sporting tomorrow, 8 o'clock under the lights. in Lisbon. Let's start with Dr. Seymour, Dr. S, as I call him. What we saying for that game, Dr. S?
So what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to give both my predictions because I do need to head out.
Okay.
I'm actually tomorrow I'm I'm going with 3-1 Lisbon. I think they do us at home. I think Gyökeres does get a consolation goal, but I think they do us tomorrow. And then Bournemouth. I know that's at home, right? I think that's at home.
Yep.
I know we're dropping points there. I know we're definitely not winning. I'm gonna say 1-1.
But isn't that game a real crucial game when what happens on Saturday?
Yeah, of course.
Bro, these next 4 league games
kickoff as well, isn't it?
Sorry,
bro. These 4 games are key.
30 UK.
Ooh, we also don't like early kickoffs either. I mean, like, this team is running on fumes, and if the team isn't running on fumes, then then they are bandaged up to the brim. We don't have a squad to play. We have not rotated enough throughout this year. Again, we have it's why all of our bench players look completely out of form when they are fielded, whether it be like a Lewis Skelly or a Norgard. And I don't even rate Norgard for that matter. But honestly, I don't rate him. I don't think he should be at the club, but I can't necessarily fault him for that performance against Southampton, just because as Gunnar Reekin correctly said, he was a lone six when you had the likes of a donkey and and a pillow biter in front of him. That's a lot of work. So these are all massive games. We all know this. The manager knows this. The teams know this. But this team is still a psychological mess. And and what's ironic is that Arteta, he was always called the teacher's pet. When Arsene Wenger was here. And ironically enough, he has learned everything wrong from that Wenger era. I've been sent into the matrix.
Sorry.
So I mean, it really is ironic, right? There are so many things that that you could have learned from Wenger, whether it is his attacking style play, whether it is player development, whether it's youth development. But no, what he has learned is capitulation. What he has learned is a soft, spineless underbelly that always, that always, it is literally like a dog getting rolled over on its back and having its belly tickle. That is literally Arteta's entire MO. That is, that is his philosophy. When the going gets tough, he capitulates. He was part of that 2013-14 squad that capitulated in classic form. Because, mind you, we were top of the league throughout Christmas and New Year's, and they went to Anfield on February 1st, 2014, and got slapped up 5-1, and that was the catalyst for another bottle job. And then in 15-16, when he was captain of this club, and we lost it to Leicester City, because everyone was saying, "Oh, this is Arsenal's year; they're going to walk the league," and then suddenly Leicester came up, surprised us. He was captain. For fuck's sake, he has Arteta has learned everything wrong, and every reason why we got rid of Wenger, he has adopted. And not only that, he has now impressed that upon to every single one of his players. It is. Oh, I'm telling you, forget worst bottle job in football. It is going to be the worst bottle job ever. Across history, across all sports, it's going to be dire times. It's going to be banter season for forevermore if we do not get over the line. And even if we do get over the line, leave on a high, Mikel. Leave on a high.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, the next year, we're laughing at Liverpool and their current year of attempting to retain retain the league, we're going to be a worse version of Liverpool this year if Arteta stays. Because unfortunately, Johnny, I think you're right. As much as I don't want MLS and Ethan to rather like to leave and be sold, if Arteta stays, they will be sold.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I can say, and I will leave it on this, just like how I was saying with Smith Rowe, keep the talent, sack the manager. I'm sick and tired of seeing our best players and our most promising players getting booted out of the club because a manager. He's not even a manager. He's an actress performing as a manager. He truly belongs in a fucking telenovela. Like this manager, just because he doesn't like them, he doesn't rate them, they end up leaving. Yet simultaneously, we are left having to keep and see the likes of Jesus, the likes of 29. I'm sorry, I'm done calling him Jesus, especially after Easter. Timu Lacazette with cheekbones. All right,
that's who I wanted to. You know, when you said that in the group, I was like, "Who is that?" Now I know who that is. Listen, you two, I need your predictions, guys, quickly. Yeah, we've got to get out of here.
And bless up, everyone. Take care. Have a good afternoon,
man. As always,
man.
And big up yourself, man.
And Arteta out. Arteta sexuals out. Get these little fuckers out of our club.
Swear.
What's up?
Big up, man. Big up. Let me bring Johnny up here. Johnny, what's your score prediction, bro? You still there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to. If we put the same 11 out that played Southampton, I think I might be with the doc that we may lose 3-4 or 4-1 to Lisbon. If
smoking,
bro, it's a championship side. I'm sorry. All due respect to Southampton, and they have been on a good streak at home since January. They've been undefeated at home since January with this new manager. I'm sorry. Sporting Lisbon's got a decent attack. And we know these guys, a lot of that attack was still there when they dumped us out of the Europa League. And they showed up when the lights shined bright at the Emirates to put us out. They got good players. Trincao is a baller. Luis Suarez, the striker, is possibly going to get past Gyökeres's amount of goals for them in a season this season, bro. Luis Suarez is an absolute fucking problem, that striker. He's an absolute problem. And the problem is I see this being a game, exactly what Gunnar Rieken said. This is going to be a shitty game to watch. This is going to be a stank fest. The worry is, if one goal goes in and those heads drop, is it going to turn into a shooting gallery? And Sporting Lisbon got the players to do that. They got Trincao. They got, as I said, Luis Suarez. They just got Menge back, the bald-headed Portuguese winger who's a fucking baller. They've gotten guys back, bro. If it's the same team as it is if it's the same team from Southampton, I'm going to say 3-1 as well to Lisbon. I do not see us upping the level because it's the Champions League and we're on the road. And by then, you might as well just put the subs in. You might as well just try to get a 1-0 win at home. But even then, like you said, it's all about availability. To like your point, the question is, do we just say, you know what, fuck the Champions League. Let's rest both games. It is what it is. We got to take this loss on the chin and keep everybody ready for the league. I mean, and if we don't, and we just try to go gung-ho, I don't know, man. And like the doc said, after what we saw at Southampton, I would not be surprised if we got like a 1-1 against Bournemouth at home. Again, the next four league.
Good enough though, is it? That's not good enough for us.
But it's not. None of this is. Nothing of this situation is good enough for everything that we've done. Again, our next 4 league games are all teams fighting for Europe. Fulham is fighting for Europe. Bournemouth is fighting for Europe. City is fighting us for the title, and Newcastle's fighting for Europe. It's not like we're playing a bunch of teams that don't have anything to play for and could possibly just not give a shit. They're playing for Europe. West Ham, we still have to play. They're playing to stay up.
Nah, I need my league, bro.
At this point, I might come off as a negative fan and say I'd rather us lose the season and him go. Because the problem is it's not only this. I know we're supposed to wrap soon, but the problem is this. If he wins the league and stays, how many more catastrophic injuries are going to be done at this club to where it's going to be that much harder to get players to go? Again, we still have to find somebody that's going to be able to negotiate with Havertz. Havertz is on 280,000 pounds a week. Odegaard's on 240. Jesus is on 265. They're talking about AC Milan's coming in to buy Jesus for 40 million euros. Ain't nobody, them guys ain't got money like that to be able to pay that contract. So again, it's a question of, do you cut your losses now and regroup, or do you risk an even bigger problem further down the line? For me, at this point, I may lean towards taking the loss this season, taking the banter, but we rebuild and we come back next season. Because next season, if he stays, man, I'm telling you, I got a bad feeling about next season.
Next season, Liverpool are going to strengthen. City's going to strengthen. Man United's going to strengthen. We're going to be in the mud.
Aston Villa's going to get money. Because if Aston Villa wins the Europa League and holds on to the Champions League, the regular top four money, they'll be flush with cash to where they should be straight and they shouldn't be getting rid of players.
Nah, we need to win this thing, bro. We need to win it, man. By hook or by crook. Gunarican, sorry, did you say the Bournemouth score as well? What was your Bournemouth score?
Yeah, I said 1-1.
1-1, yeah. What about you, Gunnar?
I think you frozen, Abs, by the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to redirect to your channel after this, innit? So don't worry about it. I'm still there. Just redirect.
I'll never predict an Arsenal loss. I just can't find it in my heart to do it. So I'm gonna go 1-1 against Lisbon, but I'm not gonna lie. We've lost versus Lisbon before. I always tell this story. I was in Copenhagen. I was gassed. It was the Champions League, and here I am sitting in the middle of an Arsenal bar, not speaking the language, and just knowing that everyone around me was devastated because we lost a sport in Lisbon when everyone was telling me how good our team was. And this is the problem that I have with Arteta. We always play down to the competition instead of putting them away. We played down to Southampton. You cannot tell me, and it's going to be a little bit of ramble. I know I've already, had my stream, but you can't tell me that the depth that we had, that everybody was telling me, we got two players at each position. We've got, we got great depth. We got great quality. We can't beat Southampton, who are seventh, not second, seventh in the championship. They're fighting for a playoff spot. We can't beat a team that's seventh in the championship. And we're talking about beating Sporting Lisbon, guys who are competing for a title. Stop it. I'll never predict the loss, but it ain't looking nice, man. Like Johnny said, these guys will come out. They see a wounded animal. We are a wounded animal, not just in a club sense, in a fan sense, and in a player sense. We're wounded. And every club in Europe can see that. We're struggling. They know the history of everybody talk about the history of the Tottenham. I watched the Tottenham trophy parade. I win something in my second season, mate, and he did, and they sacked him. So Tottenham have more ambition than we do. So 1-1, and that's only because I won't predict the loss. But if we lose, I won't be surprised. I see it coming. Now, Bournemouth, because we play at home, Bournemouth is very tricky because it's the last match before City. It's the last league match before we play City. If we struggle against Bournemouth, and I went to the game. I went to the Everton game, and I've been to the Man United game this season. The Man United game, fans were leaving. They weren't happy. You could see it on their faces. For 85 minutes of the Everton game, fans were not happy. You could see it on their faces. They were groaning. And yes, we got the dopamine of winning because of Max Dowman, but we reverted right back to tight and kept doing the same old thing. So if that game doesn't go to plan, I think the fans, at least the match-going fans, they're starting to turn. They're starting to not like what they're seeing because they're not seeing great football, and now they're not seeing us win. Own goals ain't coming around the corner. Corner pieces ain't, corner kicks aren't going. We ain't getting pins, even though Every time we get in the box, we like to flop over. I mean, we don't even try to make it look like we've been clipped. We just fall. And refs are like, even if we do get clipped in the box, they're like, no, I don't see it. Because we're so used to doing it. And we talking about dark arts. We're not good at dark arts. We're good at making fools of ourselves and calling it dark arts, right? And now refs have caught on to the fact that we're not getting as many corners, we're not getting as many set pieces, and we've got nothing else because our attack sucks, right? So Bournemouth, I think, could also be a draw. I'm going to go with Johnny, but I'm going to go 2-2. And that's just delusion because I don't know where our 2 goals are coming from. But
Gyökeres, man. We got Gyökeres on fine form at the moment, bro.
Yeah, but he's the
but we don't play to his strengths.
No.
Look at the way Sweden plays.
Yeah.
Look at the way Sweden. Everything goes to him.
Yeah.
I guarantee if Gyökeres was in Manchester City's team, he'd have at least 20 goals.
He'd be balling out.
Guarantee you.
Bro, if he was the striker and we got Sesko, Manchester United with this new uptick in form, if you give them Gyökeres and you give us Sesko at the beginning of the season, and the season goes the exact same way, Amarin gets sacked, and now all of a sudden you got what's his name over there as the manager now, Carrick. And he's playing the way they're feeding him the same way that they're feeding him Buemo. This motherfucker would have over 20 goals already. What did we all say at the beginning of this season after the third game with Liverpool? Gyökeres is going to have to score 20 goals in spite of the manager. It's amazing how he leaves to go on international duty. They play for him and he bags goals. But when he has to do all this false 9 bullshit and all this build-up shit, he's struggling to put the ball in the back of the net because like what we said about Jesus and Havertz, he's everywhere but where we fucking need him, which is in the box scoring goals.
Definitely.
This manager turned a golden boot winner into a left winger.
Yes, man. Listen, we need to wrap up. We definitely need to wrap up now. My score prediction: 2-1 Sporting tomorrow, win for them. And on Saturday, do you know what? This is more head over heart. I think we win that, but just 2-1 to Arsenal. So there we have it, guys. Yeah, Monday Night Madness. Make sure you go and subscribe to the likes of Gianni, Talks Football, Calcio TV, and man like Gunarican as well. We're going to be heading over to Gunarican TV as well to see all his nice kits. I wonder what he's got in store for us today.
I'm gonna warn y'all because tonight's the op kit, so I got some kits from certain teams in the Premier League.
If you got one from Spurs, yeah, you're getting this. You're getting this.
I don't have a Spurs one, but I do. I may have another London clubs one. And I may have
I don't mind Fulham, but if you got Chelsea as well, it's gonna be that.
If you don't like the ops, I got some Italian ones as well.
I love the Italians. I love the Italian.
I showed my Tati.
Yeah, I saw that. That kit looked nice, man. Listen, I'm thinking of getting a Lecce top. You know, I know it's like red and yellow and that. Hey, bro, you know what? I love Italian kits, man. I do love those tops, man. You know what I mean?
But I do have some. Yeah, I do have some from the ops. So
it's fair enough.
Yeah.
So that's a warning to us all. Yeah,
yeah.
Be careful.
There's an explanation. And I haven't bought one since then, but there's an explanation. But I do have a couple.
I hear it.
If you gentlemen are free after your stream, Gooner, I'm doing a call-in show for a football roundup of everything football on.
What time is that? Hours. What time?
I think it's 4:15 my time, so 10:15 your time.
Bloody hell, you're late.
Hey, listen,
you're like the late guy, man.
If I'm gonna go on there, it's gonna be 15 minutes to my latest and greatest.
Yeah,
I work in the morning.
I go to bed early, bro. I'm not really like a late guy, innit? But you know what? If I'm about and
that's the Chicago time. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. But this guy, you know this MF, he gets people anyway on his stream. He'll have about 7, 8 people, 9 people on his stream anyway, man. But yeah, you know what? I might be in the comments and all of that kind of stuff as well, man. But listen, people. Want to big up the chat each and every time. I want to big up Gunarican and man like Johnny, man's always shows up. I thought it's just going to be me and Gunnaruken today. Even if Gunnaruken didn't turn up, I was still going to sit here and chat my rubbish, because you know what, yeah, no one should be quiet at this stage, yeah, just to like, you know, it's mental health and all that, get it out, because we need to talk about this manager. He's destroying a lot of the way we feel about this club, everything. He's destroying everything. And I said from the off, win the thing and gracefully just bow out, say thank you, Conky, thank you, but we know that's not gonna happen. But it's some good opinions today, good, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, there's good talk. It's good to talk about all of these things, and we don't want our team to lose, but you know what, tomorrow we will see if these guys are men tomorrow, yeah, because Sporting ain't no joke. So forget about Barcelona and that Atletico. Forget about that dream for now. We need to get through to Sporting, and especially we need to beat Bournemouth on Saturday. So come on, you Gunners, and we are out, people. Peace.
Take it easy.